So in this video I'm going to be cutting some pretty long grass. This place here is a place where I last year was cutting once a fortnight. Things have changed a little bit here now, and I just come in once a month just to cut this back lawn, keep on top of it for the customer. So in this video you'll see me doing a fair amount of strimming. Went around and trimmed everything first, and this back garden is made up of lots of little different nooks and crannies, lots of little pathways that go here, there and everywhere. So I have to trim everything first. After the trimming I will be getting the Hayter 41 out. I'm not sure if you can actually see from the video, but the grass is fairly long, so I'll be having a chat with you about how the Hayter actually would cope with the long grass. All this footage was filmed about a month ago now. I am struggling to get videos out quite as much as I want to. Main reason being is I am getting married in August, and that is taking up any spare time I have. I can't really be making videos at the minute. I'm filming stuff but just not getting it out. So if my videos dry up a little bit, that is the main reason. It's just going to be because I'm getting married. There is a fair amount of strimming at this job needing to be doing. There's lots of little things to go around, and as you can see, an old dilapidated greenhouse as well, so a fair amount of glass to be careful of. I also have a lot of wire fencing, very sort of tough wire fencing, which I can't help it, hit it all the time. You end up using quite a lot of string. I've actually gone back to my old original strimmer string. I was using the Stealth line, Vortex Stealth line, for a little while, which I got on with very well. I couldn't really work out at the time why they called it Stealth line. They, on the old packaging, said quite a bit about it being a lot quieter than the normal line. I couldn't really work it out because I thought, well, I can't hear the sound of the line over the strimmer. My strimmer was fairly noisy, but when I went back to my steel string, it does really make a difference. The Stealth line was actually a lot quieter. It's just a shame you can't actually hear how quiet it is over the sound of the strimmer. And the reason I've gone back to the steel string is simply because I had a roll of it left in my garage. So when I ran out of the Stealth line, I decided that I'd use up the rest of the steel stuff. So that's the only reason I've not continued with the Stealth line. I probably will go back to it at some point and give it another try. I see quite a bit of chat sometimes on some of the Facebook groups about people like wearing shorts through while they're strimming, that sort of thing, while gardening. I think I always wear shorts throughout the summertime, always. As soon as I can, probably April time, if the sun comes out, I get the shorts on. It's always been a thing. One of the things that drew me to gardening, working in the gardens, was that I could wear shorts whenever I liked. I like to be comfortable while I'm working. I don't like to get all hot and bothered. And strimming for me is not a massive problem. I don't mind strimming with shorts on. Only occasionally you will hit a big sort of stone that will whack you in the shins, and that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it obviously does sting a fair amount. The things I have on my boots, the boot guards, I do get quite a few questions about those. They were sent to me by a fellow YouTuber in Australia. I think in Australia they're fairly common. Ray from Pit Water Mowing. Thank you, Ray, if you still watch my videos. Still using the same boot guards you sent me all those years ago. I do have a little trip over to Australia coming up, and if I can, I'll come and say hello and drop you a few beers. So now all the strimming is done. I've got the Hayter 41 out, and I'm going to start to just do some of the mowing. This area here, I only mow the pathway through the middle. I don't mow this whole area. I only mow it once a year. Once sort of towards the end of the year, I'll give it all a big mow down and tidy it all up for him. But throughout the year, just cut the pathway for him. So as I said before, this grass has got fairly long. And on this day, the customer likes me using the Hayter 41. He likes the stripes everywhere. But in all honesty, if I had my way, I probably wouldn't use this mower on this sort of job. Now, the Hayter is very good if you are doing weekly or fortnightly lawns which are being constantly mowed at the same height. Absolutely perfect. When the issue arises is when you do a job like this and you are just asking a little bit much more of the mower. It's just a lot of grass coming through the chute. If you know the Hayters, they do have from where the grass is cut from the blade to the bag, there is a chute, and a lot of the times when you are asking a little bit much of the mower, it will just clog in the chute, and a lot of times on this sort of job you will end up just scraping the chute out. Now this is fairly frustrating for me because I generally only take one mower with me per day. I don't very rarely take the Honda and the Hayter, and as I say, on this job the customer loves the stripes being out the front here, and so when I have to cut the long stuff at the back with the Hayter, it just really sort of struggles. If it was wet, I probably wouldn't even come to this job with the Hayter. I'd have to miss it off for a day and come back when I had the Honda on the go. Now this isn't a review video for the Hayter. I just thought as I was cutting a fairly long lawn, long grass, that I would mention how the Hayter would cope with it. As I said before, there are certain things I love about the Hayter, but there are some things that I just don't love about it. So at some point, probably at the end of the year, I will give it a more in-depth review video. I've had it for now 3 years. I wouldn't be using it if I didn't like it, but it would be unfair for you to be watching me cut this long lawn, and you guys thinking, oh, that we're flying through the long lawns, no problem, that Hayter can deal with it. That would just be unfair for me to say. And again, if this place was wet, then the Hayter would not be here. So after giving the Hayter a bit of a slamming for its way it deals with the long grass. I will give it a bit of a benefit in this one. When this place is under control, as I said last year, every fortnight wasn't absolute no problem at all, and there are lots of little pathways to get round, and because the Hayter is very small and lightweight, it deals with it no trouble. Its small size, its lightness, its movability of it is a massive plus in this garden and a lot of the other gardens which I actually do. They're all very similar, smaller gardens, absolutely ideal for the Hayter. All the weeds you can see here on the left hand side, this is all just remnants of an old allotment that the customer had years and years ago. He hasn't done anything on it for a long time, and I think last year I trimmed it all down at one stage for him. Probably do the same again at some point, so just in case you're looking and thinking that one of the gardens I'm looking after has gotten fairly out of control, again, just the customer just asked me once a year just to knock it all down. So yeah, that's something I will do at some stage and hopefully film it for you. Now this is a section of the garden where I just, once I get to the end, I take the bag off and just let the grass drop to the ground. I just thought I'd mention the fact that it's not my choice to let it drop to the ground. It is something that the customer has said to me. He said make sure at the bottom you just drop it and don't worry. I'm not sure if it's for the wildlife, I'm not sure, I don't really know. But he was quite adamant about making sure I took the bag off for the bottom section. Yeah, so just in case anyone was wondering while I was being lazy, not bagging it, it's not my choice. So that is this job all done. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. Take care, be good, and I will see you next time.